May 4th, 1932. Stockholm police break open the door of a small flat in the city's Atlas district. Inside, a nightmare. The body of 32-year-old Lily Lindestrom lies face down, naked, skull smashed. Most of her blood was missing, and in the kitchen sink, a blood-stained gravy ladle. The killer was never caught. The press gave him a name that still chills Sweden to this day: the Atlas Vampire. Lily was a divorced woman making a living as a sex worker. She lived alone in a one-room apartment in the Atlas neighborhood. She was known in the district as warm, witty, and discreet. She worked from home, meeting clients by appointment, a safer and more private approach than street work. Her clientele included men she knew well, and she kept a reputation for professionalism. Her closest friend was her downstairs neighbor, Minnie Mimi Jansen, also a sex worker. On April 30th, Walpurgis Night, a festival known for noisy revelry, Lily got a phone call from a man asking, "Is this Lily Lindestrom?" He said he was nearby and wanted to visit. She agreed. At about 7 p.m., Lily knocked on Mimi's door to borrow a condom. Minutes later, she returned. The first one had broken and asked for another. Mimi saw she was wearing only a coat over her naked body. This was the last time anyone saw Lily alive. Four days passed. No sign of Lily. Mimi finally reported her missing. When police entered the flat on May 4th, they found Lily dead for at least 2 or 3 days, likely killed that night or early May 1st. She was face down, head resting on her arm. Her skull had been crushed with at least 3 heavy blows from a rounded object, possibly a metal pipe. A used condom protruded from her anus, proof that sex occurred immediately before her death. The apartment was disturbingly tidy. Her clothes, removed for the encounter, were neatly folded on a chair. Some reports say that the killer even stacked sofa cushions on her body and smoothed the bed cover beneath, as if staging the scene. And then, the ladle, blood-stained, in the sink. Combined with the fact that most of Lily's blood was missing, police concluded that the killer had used it to drink from her wounds. Saliva marks left on her neck suggested licking or kissing. Yet, despite all this, there were no fingerprints, cigarette butts, glasses, nothing obvious left behind. Police questioned Mimi first. She was distraught but cleared. Focus then shifted to Lily's clients. At least 8 men were brought in. Police reviewed her address book, searched her apartment, and questioned every neighbor. No one had seen a strange man arrive. No one heard a struggle. The killer, it seemed, came and went unnoticed. Perhaps during the height of the Walpurgis celebration or the early hours of May 1st when the city slept. There were fingerprints, yes, but in 1932, fingerprint databases were limited. Blood type testing existed, but without matching profiles. The semen, blood, and saliva left behind were useless in identifying a suspect. What today would be a forensic goldmine then amounted to nothing. Then came the Copenhagen telegram. A man sent a message bragging about the murder. Police chased the lead, arresting a young waiter who fit the description. But he had a watertight alibi. He'd been playing cards with friends the entire night. The lead collapsed. The case grew cold. Lily's killer was never identified. No one was ever charged. Despite months of interviews, there were no fingerprints that matched, no murder weapon found, and no other crimes like it reported in Sweden. Was the Atlas vampire truly a vampire, or was he something more mundane? Swedish criminologist Leif G.W. Persson doesn't think the blood draining theory holds up. On Sweden's Veckans Brott program in 2012, he cast doubt on the vampire narrative. Forensics couldn't confirm the ladle even held blood. The draining may have been exaggerated. Persson believes the killer was someone Lily knew and trusted. She let him in. There was no sign of struggle. She fetched condoms mid-encounter. This, he said, wasn't the work of a mythical monster, but a meticulous killer. Possibly a jealous client or someone with a fetish for control and ritual. Still, the idea of a real-life vampire lingered. The imagery, the ladle, the drained blood, the folded clothes, was too powerful to ignore. In history, there have been others like him. Peter Kürten, the vampire of Dusseldorf. Richard Chase, the vampire of Sacramento. Fritz Haarmann, the vampire of Hanover. Each killed with horrifying violence, each obsessed with blood. So was the Atlas vampire one of them? Or was he a one-time killer, spurred by psychosis, lust, or revenge, who then disappeared forever? Others suggest the date, Walpurgis Night, was intentional, a ritualistic killing, a blood offering, something more symbolic. But again, there is no proof, just coincidence. Today, the artifacts of the crime are preserved in the Stockholm Police Museum. Lily's hair, nail clippings, crime scene sketches, the borrowed condom wrappers, and the dented ladle that gave the case its name. The case, while technically still open, has long since gone cold. Still, the story lives on, in creepypastas, in music, in forums where amateur sleuths debate long-dead suspects. A Swedish musician even composed a haunting instrumental titled In Memory of Lily Lindestrom. She has become part myth, part memory. Who was the Atlas vampire? A man with a twisted fetish? A deranged killer acting on impulse? Or a figure of folklore that the press helped create? Lily's killer was never found. The case remains one of Europe's strangest unsolved murders. And in that absence of answers, the vampire legend only grows stronger. Some monsters never reveal themselves. Some stories never get closure. And this is one of them.